May this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the BusinessMirror podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopace.
I'm Dennis Estopace, and welcome to Tuesdays with Tito, a podcast to be anchored by Tito Valiente, one of the 100 honorees in the Centenary of Philippine Cinema and columnist for the BusinessMirror newspaper. Mr. Valiente will share with us one of the many pieces he wrote for his column titled Annotations, which is published every Friday in the op-ed section of the BusinessMirror. We hope you enjoy your Tuesday with Tito.
When clouds matter more than love. It is October. You'd say, I know, but it is October only where I stand. That is what I want to say. That was my feeling this afternoon at 5. It was not the most lyrical of situation. I was lugging an old laundry bag as I walked to the laundry shop. The wind had a bit of chill in it. I looked up and caught half of the horizon, gray above and cold below. A cascade of softest shadows curled and moved to the right of the sky above me. To my left, higher than the crown of trees, more clouds of assumed jagged, cruel forms because some strong gust of wind disrespected their cushy existence. Streaks of orange and red had slowly erased, it seems, their nasty tone and decided to follow what the universe intended for all colors, to fade and let something else be in their place. Twilight, perhaps, and early evening, and the sound of a day gone. No one, logic tells me, stops with an errand like having clothes cleaned to gaze at the sky. No man, older and getting old, ever makes that pause at the curb while cars pass by and the world moves on. Somehow, vehicles in a hurry are the more appropriate metaphor for any life. That afternoon, I decided to marvel at, of all things, clouds. But I am not dealing with figures of speech when clouds make an impression on me. When was it that I flew a kite? Playing with kite allows us to deal with the heavens, not the spirituality of the elements above and out of this earth, but with the infinite. That throbbing vitality, where stars are seen when the night and its gloom proceed to introduce us to other objects, more shimmering than our own geniuses and dreams. When was it that I went out to search through the obscurantism of 8 and 9 in the evenings to test if I still remember where constellations are? Some years ago, when my father was young and we, his children, were younger, we lived in a rambling house with the windows opening to a wide roof. At night, after dinner, when my grandfather had already chosen between a banana and some sweet, and my grandmother had started fixing the mosquito net, my father would ask us to go out on that roof. There were 3 boys in the family, and an only sister who was very young then. The eldest felt he was too old to gaze at stars. The 3 of us, Carlo, Ibit, and I, would clamber up the ledge and walk to the center of the flat roof. My father would then start searching for the constellations. He was a master teacher, unusual in his pedagogy and secure enough to tell us when he had difficulties identifying where the stars were and what were their names. It was like a hunt. We participated in the danger and in the uncertainty of the quest. It was a great way to learn words also. Constellations did not simply mean an aggregation of stars. We could also turn it into a verb, to constellate, which means to form a group or to cluster. Stargazing became a lesson in etymology. To constellate was not simply to gather the elements together, but to put things that were stellar, important. The stars did not disappear from the word. This was the lesson we learned from our father. When we were old enough to travel, my older brother Manong Pempe and I were permitted by our parents to go on vacation in the town of San Fernando, which was part of the island of Ticao. All of us were born in that island. During those years, the boats left the island for the port of Bulan in Sorsogon at 3 in the morning. It was a dark journey by the sea, but I was never scared because my manong was there to take care of me, and the men of the boats knew the sea and the sky. On one of those trips, with the sea unusually rough, an old man beside me pointed to a huge, brilliant sky that appeared to swing down as the night vanished and the morning eased slowly from the distant onyx mountains. Tagbubuwas, that is the name of the star, the old man whispered to me. That star will be our guide, was the assurance of the old man. In 1999, after some 6 months of illness, my brother passed on. Grieving was not easy, but writing about griefs came easier. In Tigaunon, the language of Ticao, I, one night, wrote, Turog na manong, gimbabantayan ka sang kagbubuwas, turog na, kay ada na ang buwas. These lines I translated into, Sleep, my older brother, the star of morning becoming watches you. Sleep now, or tomorrow comes. It is wrong to think of clouds as furtive, fleeting, ephemeral. That afternoon when I told myself those are October clouds, I also said to myself how clouds and stars are real, how they matter, how you can build worlds on them, and how they are even more real most of the time than the greatest of love.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.